Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 1, text number 3. 113. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Nigama kalpatarar gaditang palam. Sukha mahad mamritta javasam yutam. Pibada bhagavatam rasam alayam. Mahora rasika bhavi bhavuka. Nigama kalpatarar gaditang palam. Shukamukha damrita javasam hutam. Pibita bhagavatam rasamadayam. Mohoraho rasika bhuvi bhavuka. Nigama kaptarar gaditam palam. Sukhamukha damrita javasam hutam. Pibita bhagavatam rasamadayam. Mohoraho rasika bhuvi bhavuka. Next, who's our good chanters here? Nigama kalpatara galitam palam. Sukhamukha damrita javyasam yutam. Pibita bhagavatam rasamadayam. Muhuraho rasika bhavi bhavuka. Next. Nigama kalpatara galitam palam. Sukhamukha damrita javyasam yutam. Pipitam bhagavatam rasamadayam. Maharaha rasika bhavi bhavuka. Nigama kalpatarar galitam palam. Sukhamukha damrita javasam yutam. Pibita bhagavatam rasamadayam. Maharaha rasika bhavi bhavuka. Ladies? Nigva kavalta regalitam palam. Sukhamukha damrita javyasam yutam. Pibita bhagavatam rasamadayam. Mahara rasika bhavi bhavuka. Nigama kalpatarar galitam palam. Sukhamukha damrita javasam yutam. Pibita bhagavatam rasamadayam. Maharaha rasika bhavi bhavuka. Nigama, the Vedic literatures. Kalpataro, the desire tree. Galitam, fully matured. Palam, fruit. Shuka, Srila Shukadev Goswami, the original speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam. Mukhat, from the lists of Amrita, nectar. Drava, semi-solid and soft and therefore easily chewable. Rasam perfect in all respects. Pibata, do relish it. Bhagavatam, the book dealing in the science of the eternal relation with the Lord. Rasam, juice, that which is relishable. Alayam, until liberation or even in a liberated condition. Muhu, always. Aho, oh. Rasika, those who are full in the knowledge of mellows. Bhuvi, on the earth. Bhavuka, expert and thoughtful. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Dandi Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada. O expert and thoughtful men, relish Srimad Bhagavatam, the mature fruit of the desired tree of Vedic literatures. It emanated from the lips of Srila Shukadev Goswami. Therefore, this fruit has become even more tasteful, although its nectarian juice was already relishable for all, including liberated souls. Purport. In the two previous slokas, it has been definitely proved that the Srimad Bhagavatam is the sublime literature which surpasses all other Vedic scriptures due to its transcendental qualities. It is transcendental to all mundane activities and mundane knowledge. In this shloka, it is stated that Srimad Bhagavatam is not only superior literature, but is the ripened fruit of all Vedic literatures. In other words, it is the cream of all Vedic knowledge. Considering all this, patient and submissive hearing is definitely essential. With great respect and attention, one should receive the message and lessons imparted by the Srimad Bhagavatam. The Vedas are composed of the desired tree. The Vedas are compared to the desired tree because they contain all things knowable by man. They deal with mundane necessities as well as spiritual realization. The Vedas contain regulative principles of knowledge covering social, political, religious, economic, military, medicinal, chemical, physical, and metaphysical subject matter, and all that may be necessary to keep the body and soul together. Above and beyond all this are specific directions for spiritual realization. Regulated knowledge involves a gradual raising of a living entity to the spiritual platform. And the highest spiritual realization is knowledge that the personality of God is the reservoir of all spiritual tastes or rasas. Every living entity, beginning from Rama, the firstborn living being within the material world, down to the insignificant ant, desires to relish some sort of taste derived from sense perceptions. These sensual pleasures, such rasas are of different varieties. In the revealed scriptures, the following 12 varieties of rasas are enumerated. 1, Raudra, anger. 2, Adbhuta, wonder. 3, Shringara, conjugal love. 4, Hasya, comedy. 6, Dhyana, mercy. 7, Jasha, servitorship. 8, Satya, fraternity. Vayanaka, horror. 10, Vibhaksha, shock. 11, neutrality, and 12, Salya, parental. The sum total of all these rasas is called affection or pure love. Primarily, such signs of love are manifested in adoration, service, friendship, parental affection, and conjugal love. And when these 5 are absent, love is present indirectly in anger, wonder, comedy, chivalry, fear, shock, and so on. For example, when a man is in love with a woman, the rasa is called conjugal love, but when such love affairs are disturbed, there may be wonder, anger, shock, or even horror. Sometimes love affairs between two persons culminate in ghastly murder scenes. Such rasa are displayed between man and woman and between animal and animal. There's no possibility of an exchange of rasa between a man and an animal, between a man or any other species of living beings within the material world. The rasas are exchanged between members of the same species, but as far as the spirit souls are concerned, They are one qualitatively with the Supreme Lord. Therefore, the rasas were originally exchanged between the spiritual living being and the spiritual whole, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The spiritual exchange, or rasa, is fully exhibited in spiritual existence between living beings and the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Personality of God is therefore described in the Shruta mantras, Vedic hymns, as the fountainhead of all rasas. When one associates with the Supreme Lord and exchanges one's constitutional rasa with the Lord, then the living entity is actually happy. These Shruti mantras indicate that every living being has its constitutional position, which is endowed with a particular type of rasa to be exchanged with the personality of Godhead. In the liberated condition only, this primary rasa is experienced in full. In the material existence, the rasa is experienced in the perverted form, which is temporary. And thus the rasas in the material world are exhibited in the material form of raudra, anger, and so on. Therefore, one who attains full knowledge of these different rasas, which are the basic principles of activities, can understand the false representations of the original rasas, which are reflected in the material world. The learned scholar seeks to relish the real rasa in the spiritual form. In the beginning, he desires to become one with the Supreme. Thus, less intelligent transcendentalists cannot go beyond this conception of becoming one with the Spirit soul without knowing of the different rasas. In this sloka, it is definitely stated that spiritual rasa, which is relished even in the liberated stage, can be experienced in the literature of Srimad Bhagavatam, due to its being the ripened fruit of all Vedic knowledge. By submissively hearing this transcendental literature, one can attain the full pleasure of his heart's desire. But one must be very careful to hear the message from the right source. Srimad Bhagavatam was exactly received from the right source. It was brought by Narada Muni from the spiritual world and given to his disciple Sri Vyasadeva. The latter in turn delivered the message to his son, Srila Sukadeva Goswami, and Sukadeva Goswami delivered the message to Maharaj Parikshit during the 7 days before the king's death. Srila Sukadeva Goswami was a liberated soul from his very birth. He was liberated even in the womb of his mother. He did not undergo any sort of spiritual training after his birth. At birth, no one is qualified, neither in the mundane nor in the spiritual sense, but Srila Sukadeva Goswami, due to his being a perfect liberated soul, did not have to undergo an evolutionary process for spiritual realization. Yet, despite his being a completely liberated person situated in the transcendental position above the three modes of material nature, he was attracted to this transcendental rasa of the Supreme Personality of God, and he was adored by liberated souls who sing Vedic hymns. The Supreme Lord's pastimes are more attractive to liberated souls than to mundane people. He is of necessity not impersonal, because it is only possible to carry on transcendental rasa with a person. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, the transcendental pastimes of the Lord are narrated, and the narration is systematically depicted by Srila Sukadeva Goswami. Thus, the subject matter is appealing to all classes of people, including those who seek liberation to relish the mellow of becoming one with the Supreme Whole. In Sanskrit, the word parrot is also known as shuka. When a ripened fruit is cut by the red beaks of such birds, its sweet flavor is enhanced. The Vedic fruit, which is mature and ripe in knowledge, is spoken through the lips of Srila Sukadeva Goswami, who is compared to the parrot, not for his ability to recite the Bhagavatam exactly as I heard it, but from his learned father, but for his ability to present the work in a manner that would appeal to all classes of men. The subject matter is so presented through the lips of Srila Sukadeva Goswami that any sincere listener that hears submissively can at once relish transcendental tastes, which are distinct from the perverted tastes of the material world. The ripened fruit is not dropped all of a sudden from the highest point of Krishna Loka. Rather, it has come down carefully through the chain of disciplic succession without change or disturbance. Foolish people who are not in the transcendental disciplic succession commit great blunders by trying to understand the highest transcendental rasa, known as the rasa dance, without following the footsteps of Srila Sukadeva Goswami, who presents this fruit very carefully by stages of transcendental realization. One should be intelligent enough to know the position of Srimad Bhagavatam by considering personalities like Shukadeva Goswami, who deals with the subject so carefully. This process of the succession of the Bhagavat school suggests that in the future also, for all time, Srimad Bhagavatam has to be understood from a person who is factually a representative of Srila Shukadeva Goswami. A professional man who makes a business out of reciting the Bhagavatam illegally is certainly not a representative of Srila Shukadeva Goswami. Such a man's business is only to earn his livelihood. Therefore, one should refrain from hearing the lectures of such professional men. Such men usually go to the most confidential part of the literatures without undergoing the gradual process of understanding this grave subject. They usually plunge in the subject matter of the rasa dance, which is misunderstood by the foolish class of men. Some of them take this to be immoral, while others try to cover it up by their own stupid interpretations. They have no desire to follow the footsteps of Srila Shukadeva Goswami. One should conclude, therefore, that the serious student of the rasa should receive the message of Bhagavatam in the chain of the succession from Srila Shukadeva Goswami, who describes the Bhagavatam from its very beginning, and not whimsically to satisfy the mundaner who has very little knowledge and transcendental science. Srimad Bhagavatam is so carefully presented that a sincere and serious person can at once relish the ripened fruit of Vedic knowledge simply by drinking the nectarian juice through the mouth of Shukadeva Goswami or his bona fide representative. Ki Jai. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jata Dadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shcha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunaktan Vitam Tam Sajiva Sadaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Svaminiti Namine Namaste Sarasvate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatnya Deshatarine. So, I cannot even begin to estimate my unlimitedly great fortune by being here in the association of my beloved godbrother, Dinabandhu Prabhu, my senior godbrother, Dinabandhu Prabhu. I remember him way back from 71, and he came to Austin, visited Austin while I was there. There was Dinabandhu. We were both young devotees, and I remember him way back in 1971, you see. And also in the association of so many sincere souls. It's just amazing. Hundreds, must be hundreds here. So many sincere souls who want to hear the true message of Srimad Bhagavatam as emanated from the lips of Srila Shukadeva Goswami. So you boys here especially, I can't imagine your unlimited good fortune you have to be here at this holy land of Krishna, studying in the Gurukula of Srila Prabhupada, learning this great science of Srimad Bhagavatam, rasa, bhakti rasa, Krishna consciousness. I noticed one thing, it's an interesting point. Prabhupada says, but the rasa is exchange between people of the same species. The other day I was walking to Krishna Balaram Mangalarti, and there was about 20 monkeys. They were all bunched together as brotherhood from the coal. They were all a big bunch of monkeys bunched together. So the monkeys can exchange rasa with each other, but we cannot exchange rasa with the monkeys, nor they can exchange the monkey with us. But now we have this opportunity. We can have this exchange of rasa with Srila Prabhupada, with the great acharyas. This is the great power of Krishna consciousness, you see, rasa. I've lately been meditating on this actual point. Why do we exist? Do you know why you exist as a spiritual being? Does anybody have an idea why you exist as a spiritual being? Well, Krishna enjoys rasa. He has actually, I remember in the old days in Gainesville, it's such fantastic prasadam there, they called it Geesville, was a nickname, Geesville. And all the traveling book distribution parties used to come to Gainesville, especially for festivals. We had the best prasadam at ISKCON in those days. I remember the Janmashtami feast, that was the biggie, 108 preps. I mean, you're fasting all day and the 108 preps. So this reminds me, Prabhupada says variety is a mother of enjoyment. So the more there's variety, the more it becomes enjoyable, isn't it? Are you hearing or not? Are you talking or hearing? Are you listening or talking to somebody else? You have to tune in. Don't be chatting with other people. Don't chat. This is the time to totally tune in to what's being said by the speaker. Not that you have a little chat going on. That's an offense against the Bhagavatam. So you tune in, turn on, and bliss out on the transcendental rasa of Srimad Bhagavatam. So anyway, Krishna is Vasaraj, the king of rasa. So he enjoys an unlimited variety of loving relationships by emanating from himself an unlimited variety of living entities. You see? So we're actually all inhabitants of the spiritual world. Krishna is emanated, each one of us is unique. So Krishna enjoys a unique flavor of rasa, having an association with each and every one of us. So I wonder, what are we doing here then in the material world if Krishna is emanating us to have a certain flavor relationship with us? Well, is love forced or is it voluntary? Love me or I'll blow your brains out. Love cannot be forced. Can you force somebody to love you? No, you can't force somebody to love you. Love has to be voluntary. So we always have the choice, love me or leave me, you see. So we sometimes think, well, maybe it's better on the other side. You ever seen a cow sticking the head through the fence to get the grass on the other side? The grass is good on both sides of the fence, but the cow is thinking on the other side it must be better. I'll stick my head through the fence to get the grass from the other side. You ever seen a cow doing that? Well, anyway, we're like that cow, that stupid cow, who stuck his head through the fence. Well, the grass must be green on the other side. We check that. What would it be like if I could be God? You see? Krishna, don't go. It's not a good thing. You stay here with me, but we're stubborn. Krishna said, all right, if you're so stubborn, go ahead. Give it a try. When you're really an idiot, you're welcome back, you see. So now by the grace of these great personalities, Narada Muni, you see, coming down, Shukadeva Goswami, these all the way down to our beloved Srila Prabhupada ki. Yeah. All the way down to our beloved Srila Prabhupada and those who are purely representing Srila Prabhupada. We have the opportunity now, my dear devotees, we have an opportunity to get back to where we once belonged, you see. Now, how many of you would like to go back to Godhead? Let's see your show of hands.
How many people go back to Godhead?
Yeah. Good. Well, you're right in the place at the right time, you see. You're in the right place at the right time where we're discussing this transcendental nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam, because what this does, you see, we'll read the verse again. O expert and thoughtful men, relish Srimad Bhagavatam, the mature fruit of the desired tree of Vedic literatures. It emanated from the lips of Srila Sukadeva Goswami. Therefore, this fruit has become even more tasteful, although its nectarian juice was already relishable for all, including the braided souls. So, the fact is, my dear boys and ladies and men, the fact is we all have that taste within us. We all have that desire to relish Krishna Bhakti within our hearts. We all have the taste. It's called bhakti rasa. We all have bhakti rasa within our hearts. But right now we're going after mundane rasa because we've been misled with the material nature. So we got to get back. Right now we're captured by the material rasas. You see. We're captured by the maya. You see, that's why we're thinking something. Our mind is jumping to this thing. You understand the point? Our minds are like jumping monkeys, jumping to this thing, that thing, this thing, that time. But we have to come back to being who we actually are, you see. I guarantee you will not find anything in this material world that will satisfy you like Krishna consciousness. Even if you became a Brahmaji with your own universe, you cannot be satisfied like Krishna consciousness, you see. Wake up. See, when I see you nodding out, I'm going to wake you up. See, everyone in this room should be tuned in, not taking a nap or chatting or writing something or looking at your smartphone, whatever it may be. You should tune into this message because this message will connect you with Krishna, will connect you back with you'll actually awaken your eternal relationship. Your Svarupa will come back. We all have Svarupas. We'll have original identities in the past lives like Krishna in the spiritual world. Right now, that's sleeping, you see. We're trying to enjoy rasa in this material world because of that we're suffering. What is it? Birth, death, old age, and what? Disease. You got it. We're suffering these things. And if the 4 miseries wasn't bad enough, there's the 3 miseries also. Adi, Admeg, Adi, Bodhig, Adi, Divik. So we're being slapped by 7 types of miseries. Slap, 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 slap. You see, it's not it's not fun being slapped by miseries. Who wants to be slapped? Anybody want to slap in the face? We're being slapped by Maya, slapped in the face again and again and again. These 7 miseries. So let's get out of this stupid quagmire we're in and trying to enjoy this. What is it? It's a bag of flesh, blood, mucus, stool, and urine. Can you imagine? Will somebody here enjoy this? Here's a nice bag full of mucus, blood, stool, and urine. Take it home and enjoy it. Would you like to enjoy it? Who wants to enjoy a bag of mucus, stool, bile, blood, and urine? Anybody wants to enjoy it? Raise your hand. I wouldn't want to enjoy such a disgusting thing, but that's your body. That is your body, and you're trying to enjoy it. Just see how stupid you are. You're trying to enjoy this bag of stool and urine. So it's time we come to our senses and realize I've been a stupid idiot long enough, enjoying as a monkey, enjoying as a orangutan, a cactus plant. I've enjoyed so many, even a Brahmaji, even Indragopa germ, or the worm in the stool. We tried so many ways to enjoy, but every time we were ripped off by the material nature, you see. So don't be a fool to be cheated by Maya. Come on, you boys, tune in. Stop. You listen to me. Don't play with your fingers. Listen. Come on. You're here to listen, not play with your fingers. Tune in to what I'm saying here. It's very important stuff. This will liberate you. If you actually hear and take this into your heart, don't let it get into anything. Take these words into your ears, into your heart, because this knowledge will actually liberate you. Do you realize you can become a fully enlightened soul even within a minute? Do you know that? That's the verse. Sadhu Sangha Sarva Sarva Shratekai Sadhu Salavamanta Sarva Siddhi Hoy. It usually takes a long time, but it's possible that you can become fully enlightened soul right here, right now. Lavamatra, 1/11th of a second. You can actually come back to your original, who you are in the spiritual world, become a pure devotee of Krishna instantly, if you really tune in. So don't throw this opportunity down the drain by spacing out during the Bhagavatam class. All you boys, tune in what I'm saying. Tune in. Who are tuned in? Raise your hand if you're tuned in. No, but okay. I saw one hand back there. How many of you are actually tuned in what I'm saying here? Raise your hand if you're tuned in. Most of you aren't even tuned in. I'll say, if you're tuned into what I'm saying, raise your hand. I saw 1 hand, 2 hands. Most of you are not even raising your hands. That means you're not even hearing the class. You think, when will this be over so I can go eat Lake Prashadam? Most of you are not even tuned in. What kind of nonsense? Again, if you're tuned in what I'm saying, raise your hand. That's a little better now. Because I want you to be tuned in, because this is not my words. I'm presenting the words I've gotten for Prabhupada, coming all their cyclic succession. I'm here presenting this great treasure house of transcendental wisdom, coming these great personalities. I want you boys to get advantage of it. I don't want you to go back to being a karmi when you graduate from Gurukula. I want you to become a pure Vaishnava, a preacher who can liberate the suffering souls of this material world back to Godhead. So please take this very seriously. Every devotee should become a Madhyamadhikari, a preacher, and eventually Uttama. So you have to tune in. You have to hear these classes with all seriousness. Don't be a space cadet, a space case. Tune in to what's being said and actually reap unlimited benefit. Now we can ask us any questions. There's papers for questions. How we do questions here? By writing a paper, or they speak out.
Ask and I can repeat. You can ask and I can repeat the question for you.
You can help me understand, but my hearing isn't good. You can help me understand. Here's my disciple. He can tell it for me.
After that, you can also speak Hindi for me.
So, Prabhu, wonderful class. We'll ask you questions now. The questions, please raise your hand.
Any questions? Is everything clear, or do you have any doubts about what I'm saying? Who has some doubts about this process? Or doubts about ISKCON? Whatever you got, let's hear it.
So, without not following the disciple succession, why the transcendental knowledge can't be manifested in our heart? Why is it necessary to follow disciple succession?
So, without following disciplic succession, can the transcendental knowledge be awakened in the heart?
If one is not following the disciplic succession, can transcendental knowledge be awakened within the heart? Sampradaya vahinaye mantraste mishmalapata. If you don't follow the disciplic succession, you're finished. In other words, the mental speculators, they try to do it in their own power, you see. They try to jump over all the spiritual masters, and with their own brain, they try to understand them. But it's not possible. It's not possible. One has to go through the disciplic succession. You can't speculate your way into transcendental realization. The Gyanis, they go on for thousands, millions of years. Even if they achieve the perfection of Brahman realization, they can only enter the precincts of the spiritual world. They can't actually enter the spiritual world, you see. So if you want to realize this, you have to hear the message coming down by the disciplic succession. We had the great opportunity of hearing from Srila Prabhupada. Dinabanda, I remember how it was when Prabhupada was here. Everything, we're just leaning. Every word from Prabhupada was the greatest gold, the greatest treasure. Every word coming in, every gesture, every word coming in his mouth. When will Prabhupada speak? Everybody was going mad, mad, mad. Where's Prabhupada? What did Prabhupada say? What did Prabhupada do? Prabhupada is our connection, you see. So you can't jump over the Acharya to come to Krishna consciousness. It's not possible. You can try to do it on your own, but the best you can do is realize it's all one, which is a delusion. Okay? Next, here's one. This boy is next. The boy with the green and white, he's next.
My question is that why Lord Krishna made so many sampradayas, not only one?
Why Lord Krishna made so many sampradayas, not only one?
Why there different sampradayas? Different strokes for different folks. Next. Okay. Let's see, what is it?
Which stage?
In which stage
In
What is
which
that?
state? W.
In which
stage one can go back to Godhead? It doesn't matter what stage you're in, my dear devotees. If simply somehow you can remember Krishna at the time of death, doesn't matter what your position. Just like Ajamil, he was the slave of a prostitute actually, but somehow they remembered Krishna at the time of death because his previous activities as a young Brahmin boy, he chanted Narayan at the time of death. The Yamadutas are coming to grab him, and the Vishnu says, "No, you can't have him. He's ours." So somehow or other you can remember Krishna at the time of death. So how do you qualify yourself? Remember Krishna at the time of death? It's very simple. What do? Remember Krishna now, because we can die at any minute. I mean, I could die giving this class, to be honest with you. I could have a heart attack and die right here in the Vyasastham. So you never know. You can be hit by a car, you can be killed by a terrorist. You never know what's going to happen. So always remember Krishna at every minute, and then you're guaranteed to go back to Godhead. Next.
I think if you understood the answer, then we give the example of Ajamil. So if you remember Krishna all the time, if you remember the type of death, you can go back to God. Any other question?
My question
How did you met Srila Prabhupada? How did Prabhuji meet Srila Prabhupada?
How did you met Srila Prabhupada?
Let's see, how did I meet Srila Prabhupada? Well, the real meeting I had with Prabhupada when I finally connected with him, it was an amazing day when in our little Austin center, because Vishwajana attracted me to become a devotee, but not a disciple. I wanted to be a congregation. I was a singer-songwriter. I'll follow George, be a Krishna conscious singer-songwriter. But I didn't want to be one of those brahmachari, surrendered disciples, no way. But one day we got a DJ gave us this record album they didn't want to play on their station. It was called the Radha Krishna Temple album. And the London devotees were singing this beautiful song. Samsadadava nalalita loka Shanaya karyunya gana ganadvam Praptashakaryana gananavasa Mande Guroshi Charanada Vindam. Now, my dear Prabhu, I've never experienced love in my whole life. You say, love your dog, love your parents, love your guitar, love your school, or whatever. But I never tasted love my whole life. Never really tasted what real love is. But now hearing the London devotees, Jamuna, Gurudas, Janaki, Mukunda, Shamasundar, and Malati, hearing these beloved devotees who started our London preaching, singing, expressing their love for Prabhupada, it was so powerful. It was so amazing that my heart melted. And the tears were coming down. I said, wouldn't it be beautiful if I gave my life to Prabhupada? That's when I met him. That's when I actually met him. Next.
My question is that how do you identify that who is in the disciplic succession or who is the representative of Sri Srila Goswami?
What was the last part?
How would you identify that one is disciple succession or representing the Supreme?
How to know if someone is in a disciplic
How
succession
do you know who is the bona fide?
or he is representing Shukadeva Goswami?
If somebody is genuinely situated, they'll be absorbed in the love of God. Even Christians or Jews or Sikhs or Muslims. Anybody who has developed pure love of God, whatever they do to get there is bona fide. If they have pure love of God within their heart. That's how you judge. Not with their tilak, what style of tilak they wear, but if they awaken love of God within their heart, then it's bona fide. Next. Written, okay. How can we always tune in and how to turn on Krishna consciousness? The way to tune in is always remember Krishna, that amazing person. Amazing person. Of unlimited qualities, unlimited names, unlimited pastimes, unlimited glories, unlimited, so many. Somehow always remember Krishna. And by remembering Krishna, you're tuned in. And by that being tuned in, your Krishna consciousness will turn on. It's right now sleeping within. It's like a little switch in your heart. It can be turned on or turned off. When you remember Krishna, flip, it's turned on. Okay, next. Why having Srimad Bhagavatam is very important for our spiritual life. Srimad Bhagavatam is there's so many Vedic literatures, but this is the ripened fruit. This is the most nectarian ripened fruit of all Vedic literature. But you can understand Srimad Bhagavatam, all the Vedic literature becomes known automatically. Okay. How to always remain sublime and ever ecstatic in this material world when it's dukkalium. I had a realization yesterday. I was coming back from Kamyavan, and we got into, there was such hellish traffic. It was unbelievable trying to get close to the MBT. It was like a nightmare. It was an absolute nightmare going on. Horrible. It was like a hellish nightmare, all the traffic and the shoving and the pushing and the honk. It was like you even get run over by a rickshaw if you're not careful. It was horrible. But then I realized, now wait a minute, there's a big hurricane blowing, right? A huge hurricane. What's in the middle of the hurricane? The eye. So you always put yourself in the eye of the hurricane, you see. Then the material nature, you're no longer affected by the material nature. This horrible material nature can be whirling all around you like a huge hurricane, destroying everything in its path. But you're in the middle of the hurricane, in the eye of the hurricane, then you can taste the bliss in any situation. You can relish the bliss. It's all there. Krishna, 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 Krishna. Hey, it's all there. Unlimited nectar. Just got to be turned on to Krishna and you relish the sweetest happiness in every situation. Okay. How to recognize a bona fide spiritual master? He does not concoct. He doesn't add his own 2 cents worth or his own 2 paisa worth. He doesn't subtract anything. He does it exactly as it is. Whatever Prabhupada taught, he doesn't add something new, like the higher standard, the lower standard. Sometimes we hear this lower standard and higher standard of Krishna Bhakti. It's completely bogus. No such thing as a lower standard and a higher standard. There's only one standard only, and that's what Prabhupada gave us. How to surrender to Guru? You have to take his orders as your very life and soul. That's the secret. How can one be Krishna conscious 24/7? Well, the real trick, my dear devotees, is you wake up early before the sunrise and have a really powerful early morning before sunrise. You get really tuned in, strongly tuned into Krishna. You have Mangal Arati, you have Japa, just go really deep, 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 deep into that ocean of Krishna Bhakti, and it'll carry you through the rest of the day. Okay. My question is that what is the meaning of Prabhupada and Vishnupad? Prabhupada is the one whose feet masters sit, and Vishnupad is the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. Okay. How is it that how is it that we can preach? You figure that one out. Okay. When we come to bhakti and practice, but my husband is completely against it. Welcome to the material world. How to practice bhakti remaining calm and peaceful? Well, it's stated that Sangat Kandaya Ke Kama, one's association is developed according to one's association. So my dear Mataji, you be so powerful and fixed in your bhakti that by your bhakti, your husband will automatically become Krishna conscious. You become a fighter, a revolutionary to revolutionize your marriage. By you become a powerful preacher by your example, by your words, etc. So take the challenge as a great blessing from Krishna. Otherwise, you might have been a timid Mataji. Now you become a fighting Mataji to make your husband Krishna conscious.
How we can prove to atheists that...
How we can prove to atheists that Srimad Bhagavatam is the essence of all Vedic knowledge. Don't worry. Don't bother trying to preach the atheists that Srimad Bhagavatam is the cream of our knowledge. You could first convince them there is God. You know what Prabhupada told us? He said, go from town to town. He told us in LA. You go from town to town, village to village, and make Digvijaya. There is God. I can prove there is God. Who are you who say there is no God? That is Digvijaya. See? So we have to learn to become Digvijaya Pandits. We go to anywhere in the world, even other planets if Lord Krishna wants us to go, and we can prove there is God. So what's the proof? You have a father, don't you? Everybody has a father, right? And his father is a father. Go back, father, you get to the father has no fathers, and that is God. So even the atheist has a father. So we can prove to any atheist that God exists.
Can you repeat did you understand the answer? How do you prove that God is there? Because you have a father, he has a father, so we have a ultimate father.
Okay. What qualities you saw in Srila Prabhupada? Well, Prabhupada was amazing. Dinabandhu also knows. He had an amazing quality to treat every disciple as if that disciple was the most important person in the whole world. I mean, it's amazing. Actually, Krishna did it with his queens also in Dwarka. Just like, I'll give an example. I was there in LA in 71 after the Ratha Yatra in San Francisco. And you remember, we lined up along the sidewalk, right? Prabhupada would do the flowers up and down the sidewalk. So I was about number 3 in the line. Vishnu Chan was the first, he got a big hug. I was about number 3 in the line. You had your own moment. You give Prabhupada a flower, he gives you a flower. Wow, I had my own one-on-one with Prabhupada. But then Prabhupada goes on down the line. Now there's something called drinking Prabhupada into your heart through your eyes. So I went to get another darshan. Prabhupada came down the line, he finished the line with all the devotees, and I stood in front of the temple on the steps to get a good look at him, to get another drink of Prabhupada into my heart through my eyes as he walked by. And Prabhupada looked up at me. He saw, well, here's a devotee who's not in the flower queue. And Prabhupada went, when are you going to flower? He held up a flower. Did you get one yet? It was all body on. He said, get one yet? He said, yeah. I said, yes, Prabhupada. I showed him my flower. So I was just some crazy bhakta from Texas. I wasn't even initiated. But Prabhupada wanted to make sure, out of this huge crowd of devotees, they wanted to make sure that I had gotten my flower. So Prabhupada had an amazing ability to treat every single devotee as the most important devotee in the whole movement. And that's an amazing quality. So that really inspires me to become a disciple. I know Prabhupada cares about me more than anybody and everyone has ever cared about me my whole life. And nobody ever cared about me like Prabhupada cares about me. So when, as Hari Sari Prabhu one time said, Prabhupada he served us more than we ever served him. He served us more than we ever served him, Hari Sari Prabhu was saying. How much time does Krishna take to fulfill one's spiritual desires? Actually, we don't really care, even if it takes millions of lifetimes, you see. The preacher has a desire to make the whole world Krishna conscious. That's the mood of a preacher, you see. And the devotee doesn't care whether Krishna fulfills it immediately or if it even takes millions of births. Devotees desire to see that every single living entity in this whole material existence is delivered back to Almighty God. And that's his spiritual desire. And he's patient. Krishna can fulfill it now or in millions of births. He doesn't care. Okay. What is the role of the cyclic succession in the life? And what if we don't follow it? You're cutting your own throat, my dear devotee. If you're a mental speculator, you think you can do it on your own, forget it. You're wasting your time. Shama eva kevalam, give up your speculation and just take shelter of the lotus feet of the bona fide spiritual master, and then the whole cyclic succession will bless you. How were you feeling when you saw Prabhupada for the first time? It was the sweetest nectar in the San Francisco airport. There was about 300 of us there waiting for, in those days you go in, there was no security, you go into the airport. We were waiting for Prabhupada to come off the plane. I mean, there was like 2 rows of devotees, about 300 of us, and they're chanting in ecstasy. And all the karmis came off the airport, they're going, in the middle of a kirtan, they go, what's going on here? They go, wow, what's happening here? Well, waiting and waiting, and finally Prabhupada's come. It was the most thrilling, exciting moment of my entire life, I'll tell you right now. Is that it? Our time is up? Now, Dina Vandana, it's time to you to share with us your profound realizations.
This one thing I just get. So, few things, but Prabhu said you understand that how he went for the first time he saw the airport, he was coming, that was the sweetest moment of his life. And then he said that how Prabhupada cared for each of the devotees. So that is what attracted him so much to Prabhupada, that he cares for each one of us personally, right? It's okay.
Give the mic to Dina Bandhu.
Welcoming Prabhupada to the airport, he was doing all that.
Give the mic to Dina Bandhu. Let's hear some nectar from...
How many have seen Prabhuji before? Yes, Prabhuji is always leading yatras in Vrindavan. He has been there for more than 40 years in Vrindavan. Served as temple president also. And very, very dear disciple of Prabhupada and speaks nectarine in Krishna Katha Prabhupada. So please. Nice Katha voice.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So we're very happy to be here with all of you this morning. Now just a few days ago, on last Ekadasi, we celebrated what? Gita Jayati. Years of Bhagavad Gita. And the first gift of Bhagavad Gita is that we're not this material body. We're the spirit soul inside this body. It's like, I want everyone to point to their nose.
Everyone point to us, yeah.
Point to your head. Point to your belly. Point to your arm. Point to your chest. Now point to you. You said that was your chest.
इसको पूरा के ले जाओ.
So then, if you think about it, we say, This is my hand, right? There's me, and there's the hand. Two things, right? Just like this nice boy had a beautiful book. I want to see it. Huh? So that's his book. There's a book and there's him. So I say my body. I don't say, does anybody say I body? We say my body. Huh? So who is that I? Huh? Just like Krishna gives a very nice verse. He says, what is that? Komaram Jovanam Jara. Dehinosmin yata dehe komaram jovanam jara tata dehantara prapti vidas tatanamugite. So one time, I'm thinking that I'm this body, but which body am I? One time I had a little body that my mother used to hold like this. Now if my mother was still alive, she tries to hold me, she'll break her back. Body's changed, but I'm still feeling I'm the same person. Is it? Then I had a little body just like you guys. You know, I was 5 years old, and I was running around and catching lizards and snakes and climbing trees. Oh, now that's just a dream now. I couldn't even dream of climbing a tree now. But I still feel I'm the same person. When I was 5 years old, I had a nice little body, and I ran around, and I thought, oh, little girls, that's the worst thing in the world. Huh? And when I was 15, then my body was much bigger. And I was no longer interested in climbing trees. I was into, of course you guys were into cricket. We were into football. It was another thing. Baseball. Huh? And when I was 5, I was thinking, oh, girls, what is that nasty thing? And when I was 15, then I was thinking, wow, what is this nice thing? So the body changed, the mind changed, everything changed. Then I was a young man, I was no longer interested in climbing trees or this and that. I was busy trying to support my family and raise my family and everything. And then when I was, now I'm an old man. And as soon as I saw all those stairs, I said, oh. Is there a lift? Yeah, I know. I merely asked one boy, is there a lift here? I used to be like you, just running up those stairs. But now I looked at those stairs, But I'm still feeling I'm the same person. I'm the same person that was held like this, the same person who was climbing trees, same person who was working on cars all day. And now just to walk across the street is a big deal, To climb forget it, I'm not going to climb all those stairs. So we can understand that something is there that's going. Dehinosmin yata komaram means young boy like you, jovanam, jara. Jara means old age, just like now. All that nice black hair turned silver. There you go. So this body is just a vehicle. Krishna says, Yanta Rudrani Maya. It's a vehicle made of Maya. Just like, how many come by the bus here?
They are all staying here.
They're all staying. I saw your bus coming.
Today's Sunday, so the boys from Vrindavan don't come today.
Oh yeah, there's too much traffic.
100 students, they come from Vrindavan by bus. Yeah.
So anyway, you've ridden in a bus before. Now suppose you're riding in the bus and somebody pulls too close and the bus is going to scrape that car. What do? Isn't it? Are you going to feel something or the bus is going to get scratched? But you've been riding in the bus for so long, you've identified yourself with the bus. Somebody pulled up too close and the bus is going to scrape him and you're going, Are you going to feel something? The bus is going to get scratched. Are you going to get scratched? So same way, we're sitting in this material body for so long, we've identified with this body. But we're the spirit soul. That one thing is a constant all the way through that Komaram Jovanam Jara. One thing is constant, that's me. So we can learn all these wonderful things from Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is so wonderful. And just a few days ago, we saw that even our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he gave Bhagavad Gita as it is, Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, to Putin. So this is, so you're here, you can study Bhagavad Gita and learn all these wonderful things. So, I guess one little lila, huh?
One lila maybe short.
I'll have to think of a short one. Okay. Anybody seen a people tree?
Yes. Pilu tree.
People.
People, yeah, people tree, yes.
So, when Krishna saw a tree like this, when he was a little boy, then he said, Maya, Are Maya, what kind of tree is this? What's leaf has got a tail? What kind of tree is this? What's leaf has got a tail, Maya? Ye kainki peher, jiska pate ke punche, Maya. Ye kainki peher, jiska pate ke punch. Now you've seen, shaped like a heart. And it comes down to a little punch. So Maya Yasoda said, oh Lala, this is people tree, Ashvata. Then he saw another tree. He said, oh Maya, what kind of tree is this what's got a beard? What kind of tree is this what's got a beard? Ye kanki peher jiske dadi hai Maya. Ye kanki peher jiske dadi hai Maya. You've seen the banyan tree, huh? It got a beard. Some of the Yasoda said, oh Lala, this in Sanskrit we say but vriksh. Or bargat. This is English we say banyan tree. You know how it became known as banyan tree? Because during the British times, the Britishers saw that all the merchants put their push carts and their shops in the shade of this big huge tree. Now in ISKCON we know the mercantile class of people, what do we call them? Who's merchant? What do we call them? What is it? That's Hindi. But in ISKCON we call Vaishya, right? But in India, what do they say?
Baniya.
So the British used to say that's the baniya tree.
Oh, okay.
I read this in a big thick book about Indian trees, so it wasn't a joke. They go, that's a banyan tree, so gradually became banyan tree. And banyan trees, you study biology?
Yes.
The trees, they give off, what do they give off in the daytime?
Oxygen.
And at nighttime?
Carbon dioxide.
Carbon dioxide, huh? But banyan trees and people trees give off oxygen 24/7. Very important for the environment. You always see the yogis under, because nice environment is there with lots of oxygen. So yogis are sitting under the banyan trees or the people trees. Sri Krishna Chandra Bhagwan ki jai. Aap sab log ki. Hare Krishna.
So we want to thank both his grace, Sankarshan Prabhu and his Vrindaranyam Prabhu for coming here and blessing all of us and sharing Mahamudra to both of them. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Take short video. And today is also the 75th Vyas Puja of Vrindaranyam Maharaj.
Acha.
Big program in Mumbai, very thousands of disciples are there. We have a few disciples of Maharaj here also. And last month Maharaj came here for a few hours. So he spoke to the boys and addressed all of them. So there's a short 2-minute video. We can just show about Maharaj's life, how he came, there's a nice book, Journey Home, how he was born in America and he was in search of real happiness. He came all the way to London and from there he reached height. Like he's just taking lift from one car to another car. And like that he came all the way to Vrindavan and finally was happy in Vrindavan. So there is 2-3 minute video about somebody shared this video, so we can see that and then we can go for Prashad. And we will request both of them to please keep coming again. And Prabhuji, please come one day and speak nice Krishna Katha to the voice. Prabhuji travels all over the world. We are so eager to hear Krishna Katha from him. And Sankarshan Prabhu, he is also so busy traveling all over the world, having so many disciples. So we are very, very fortunate. So don't think that somebody is coming. No, they are very, very great personalities. And we have Mataji, Prabhuji's wife. She's, you can see she's from Indian origin. And they both have been serving Srila Prabhupada and ISKCON movement for more than 50 years. So ideal gೃಹಸ್ಥ couple, you can say. So we have sannyasis and we have ideal gೃಹಸ್ಥas and banapastas. So we'll just see this short 2-minute video about the So here is a short 2-minute video about So Hare Krishna once again. Hari Bol, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Isliye Sankarshan Prabhu ki jai. Isliye Vrindaranyam Prabhu ki jai. Bol Premanande. 11 o'clock, so those who want to come, now we have the Prashad. SPS boys also can come. 11 to 12:30 we have program there.
I was thinking to. I wanted to come the other day, but I was so busy and I was getting started.